Alrighty, so I shouldn't need to do any resyncing here because the fact of the matter is there is no actual delay at the moment when it comes to my vocal audio, the video, in tandem with the actual, well, when I say video, my visual aspect of myself, which doesn't make any sense, but anyway. That's also currently recording in tandem with the game itself, with no delays, so there shouldn't be any problem with syncing based on that. So that's a good thing. What I could actually do, and that's kind of a crazy thought, is that I could actually play the game through OBS, but I think having my display in the corner would distract me, so we're going to not do that. So, Mimir is posting G-rank epic hunts. I've already completed all of those, so I don't particularly need to do them, but I think it will offer good entertainment for you guys. So, I was going to play Unite yesterday, but I just didn't really feel like I wanted to work on getting a room together, because the problem is with Unite is that a lot of people don't really use the room system properly. They're either hunting with their own friends or whatever, and it just makes it a little bit harder to get things organised, but I came in here today and posted my own room, and a lot of people were interested in hunting at the G-rank levels, so yeah. I'm currently using the large popcorn here. This is more or less the Fatalis set, this particular one, so that's not to say that the set itself is a Fatalis armor set using armor pieces from Fatalis. What I mean is that it is a good set to use for a Fatalis hunt, if you were so inclined to go Blade Master. Now, I just need to remember what monsters we're even hunting here, to be honest. Plum Daimyo, Gypceros, Rathian. So Plum Daimyo will be starting in the top area. Now this location is the... what is this even? The jungle? I believe that's what this is called. Can you please climb the fucking thing? Anyway. So for those of you who are not really familiar with Freedom Unite, may as well give you a brief description. This is the game that preceded Tri. And I would say that Tri is the game that really established Monster Hunter as it is known today, in terms of how it looks. It's the first of the modern Monster Hunter games. This particular game here is the last of the truly original Monster Hunter games. And by that I mean, you know, the ones that look a little bit clunky and janky and all of that. And to further discuss what I was discussing yesterday, I think it was, if you do think that 3rd generation is clunky and janky, then you need help. But I don't think anyone is going to complain if someone made the decision to refer to this as clunky, so yeah. I certainly can't deny that this is a bit of a janky game, so the one that I'm playing right now, that is. In terms of 2nd generation in general, this particular game is... it may have even introduced its own problems rather than fixed any of the 2nd gen problems, so... I have seen some critique when it comes to this game, or some criticism of this game, I should say. It's, I guess, coming from the fact that they could have made the game better but chose not to. An example of that is fights like Hypnoc and Nargacuga. They were new fights for this game, but they chose not to improve any of the other monsters as well, only those particular ones. So... that's the idea. People just... well, some people who are, I guess, observant of that fact, do take issue with the fact that Capcom chose not to improve any of the other fights. I should not be doing anything except shelling. I've just woken up, so I just need to get my brain in gear a little bit. I'm a bit worried about shelling my teammates here because this particular monster is not very large. It's quite easy to accidentally shell teammates, or intentionally shell them if you were so inclined. Which I'm not. Because if I shell my teammates, then that's probably going to mess with the DPS of the hunt. I missed my last Wyvern Fire, we should be able to get this one. There we go. So the burning effect that was removed in Portable Third when it comes to shelling is back again here. As I did mention in Random Hunts Part 56. We'll see how long it takes me to get to the 50s in live hunts. I don't think it will take me very long at all. Which is a funny thought, because I started random hunts back in 2015, as you know, and I'm only in the 50s. I don't think it will take me anywhere near as long to get that high up with live hunts. Even though each part is so much longer. I'm not actually looking at any of my stream playback right now. I will momentarily. So I do apologise for that. Hey Ken, you did jump into my, I guess, attack window there. So to epic hunts, yeah, mega potions. That's alright, I do need some. Going to carve 2, then I'll consume 1, and carve a 3rd mega potion. Just look at the stream, things are looking alright OBS side. So I will have a look at the playback now. On my laptop. Which is nicely and comfortably positioned next to me on the table that I would normally have my laptop sitting on. Instead of being perched in front of me, awkwardly, like I would have to do for any console recordings. So, yeah. Also, a good thing to mention is the fact that I'm no longer having any problems with the title of the live stream. The starting point is over this way for... well, not over this way actually. Let's go here. I think this will be faster. Gypceros starts... it's hard to describe it. It's above the big climbing area to get to the high point. Further south in this area, so... yeah. Not exactly the best description in the world, but hey, you might actually know what I'm talking about. It's this area just down here that I'm coming into. Or not. Apparently he starts here. I do love it when the game immediately proves me wrong. It is a common thing. I don't think even lag compensation would have allowed me to get the hit on that one. It's very annoying. I won't use the Shelling Gun Lance again, mainly because I used it in Random Hunts Part 56 as well, so I'd like a little bit of variation. So I think Mimir is hosting the hunt right now. I don't know what his connection is like. Hopefully it's alright, but... regardless. Shut the fuck up! That's it. I believe that this is the second time now you have had a Discord notification cropping up in the audio, so let's fucking mute Discord. Shut the fuck up. Alright, so... why am I getting so pissed off? It's because of the person actually pinging me. He's very needy. He's an old friend of mine. He basically did a wave emote at me, and then pinged me a second time going, I fucking waved at you. Because he wants attention. Anyway. We have an interesting relationship. We actually refer to it as an abusive marriage, actually. But regardless. As you can see, once again, there is the issue of shelling my teammates. So, yeah, this is really not the most team-friendly loadout. Alright, so I've lost my Wyvern Fire, so I can't really make use of that. I believe that during the death animation... okay, well you can get... we haven't actually killed him, have we? No. So during the death animation, Gypceros is resistant to any attacks. In the same sense that when you cut a tail in this game, for a brief moment the monster cannot be damaged. Not sure what that has to do with... oh my god, I hate it how the tail just gets behind your shield like that. It happens a lot in this game. Weird hitboxes, you know. Alright, he's dead now. Mega Potions again. I'm cool with that. So, it is a little bit annoying that all system audio is being recorded here, but it does make sense. I understand that it would be kind of weird to only be recording audio coming from PPSSPP. But, what are we hunting next? Rathian. She will start in the sort of foresty area. What is this called again? Is it the jungle? I believe it's the jungle. Yes, it's the jungle. I don't even need to check that. I'm pretty confident of that. You would think that with the amount of Freedom Unite that I've actually played in my life, I would know that this place was called the jungle. I'd like to blame my lack of sleep on that. stupidity, so... If I can blame it on that, I'll blame it on that. Put it that way. What the actual dick was that? What was that? Did you bounce bomb me? You're an asshole, mate. I thought he bounce bombed me, but I wasn't too sure. If he bounce bombs me again, I will be quite unimpressed. Okay, he chose not to. Maybe he ran out. Probably. Don't really know why he would do that. I guess it's a good troll, but I'd rather be done with the hunt as soon as possible, if you ask me. So as you can see, the Rathian model in first and second generation is rather anorexic looking. This is one point of contention that people have when it comes to the older games. A lot of the monsters have rather strange or even anorexic models. Rathian and Rathalos, oh my god, that guy is like spam pinging me now, by the way. So, fun fact. Good thing I muted Discord, otherwise you'd be hearing that shit again. Discord is great though, it's a really good chat service. I have used Discord since September of 2015, and I've been a Nitro subscriber since it was being tested with the Australian users. Just look at me launching all these people away. There's nothing I can do. The only thing that I can do is not use this fucking set again. Because every single one of these monsters is really bad for shelling. In the sense that hitting teammates is very easy to do. So I would like to avoid that. Okay, time for some Wyvern Fire. I'll aim it over here, it'll still hit him. So what can I do? At least he got his charge off. That's one thing that I can say. As you can see, no charge shotting. Doesn't exist. That's all good. Shield the wind press as well. Uh-oh. Because I was getting pushed back by each shell, I ended up pushing myself in line with her head while she was doing a fireball. That did not turn out too terribly well. Someone had a life powder, which was very nice of them. I do not have guard +1 or guard +2, but I do have guard up on this set. And I would say that that's the most important thing. At least in my opinion. If you're going to have one or the other, I would recommend guard up. It's referred to as guard INC, guard inc, guard increase in the older games. I'm going to need a sharpen. This Rathian is close to death anyway, so worth mentioning. I'll probably be doing a 2-hour stream today. That's what I would like to do. Bouncing off the wings, of course, with green sharpness, which is fine. I've loaded up another Wyvern Fire. She's going to sort of slide into my range there, so I'm setting up the Wyvern Fire early on for that reason. I think people are a bit more... Come on, I didn't even get the chance to shield at that point. I thought I would have been done with my random animations there, but clearly not. One good thing about Epic Hunts, of course, is that you do get some Mega Potions back, so you don't have to worry too much about expending too many. Trying to find the right spot to shield the retarded hitboxes in this game is sad. It makes you a sad person. Don't you dare survive. Well, that worked out, didn't it? So, 4 Mega Potions in total, 1 from the tail, 3 from the body. Then we will have our number back to 10, which is nice. So that is the first hunt, and I believe that we will be continuing to do Epic Hunts, at least for the foreseeable future of this live stream here, so... Because Mamir did suggest that we do some Epic Hunts, so... We'll see how many that we do. I'm assuming that he needs them completed, so... Essentially, doing epic hunts is required for G-rank Elder Dragons in this game. That is, if you want to actually have the quests available yourself to select, instead of having to bum off of other people's Elder Dragon quests. Which is alright, but it's nicer to be able to host your own rooms. And then wait for people to join you that way. Instead of hosting a room, and then having someone join, and then you run the risk of them not having the quest either, so it becomes a bit awkward at that point. So I do understand the benefits of that. Anyway, I'll probably open up YouTube just so that I am able to monitor that chat. Why not? Commendation G is needed for G weapons. If you're not familiar with how G weapons work, it basically takes the... I guess you can have certain weapon paths that cut off at a low level. Or at the very least at a level that really would not be viable in G. Oh, hi, Unlucky. Just for the sake of consistency, maybe. And this might be your preference as well, I'm not sure. But, I do stream on Twitch as well, so if you would prefer to watch me on Twitch, then feel free. My name on Twitch is Doomlink, but with a C at the end instead of a K. So, that's over to you. I'm happy to have you watch on YouTube as well, but it's good for you to know where else I'm streaming as well. I don't even know if multi-streaming is allowed, but lots of people do it, so I'm doing it, so who cares? I think that with Twitch, I think how it works is that you're allowed to multi-stream as long as the service that you're streaming to doesn't have like a paid subscription thing. I believe. Something like that. Something that would be equivalent to Twitch subs, I think. Is that right? Anyway. I don't really know. Nor do I really care. Or maybe I should care because I prefer not to be banned from Twitch, but you know. Seems that you're not getting too much of a delay on your end, Unlucky. That's generally the thing that acts as the incentive for people as to whether or not to go into Twitch instead of YouTube, because some people do get a lot more delay on YouTube. So I believe that has to do with YouTube's connection. Sometimes they just have a lot of traffic and can't handle it. But that is a theory. You'll be on Twitch? Alright. I think the more concurrent viewers that I have on Twitch, the better in general. Probably helps with the discoverability of the live stream. Although I don't know how their algorithm works. I think the Twitch algorithm is almost as crazy as the YouTube algorithm, so... Discoverability of live streams on Twitch, from what I've looked into, is damn near horrendous, so... Yeah, that's how it works. Save the Great Forest Town. Okay, so... Is there a... I would say that fire might be the universal element for that quest, so... Emerald Congalala. Speak English. Emerald Congalala. Is he weak to ice? The best way to check without having to go on wikis and stuff is to actually check armor pieces and what they're resistant to and what they're weak to, so... Conga... Whatever it is. Where is it? Conga Z. Conga Z, whatever. Good fire res, so fire wouldn't be good for Emerald Conga. Thunder? It's got thunder res too. This arsehole. Alright, we'll go no element then. Or I could use elemental heavy bow gun. Well, then again, I don't shoot ice out of that gun, unless he's weak to water. I do own some Conga pieces. You know, there would be a very quick and easy solution to this. Okay, this is ridiculous. Let's just have a look at the wiki. Honestly, I'm wasting all this time doing this crap. It would be better if I could just remember what he's weak to. He's weakest to ice, as I thought, so I was right in the end. So, none of the others are weak to ice, so you know what, we'll just go no element. What do I have that doesn't have an element in general? Like maybe a status or something. You have to understand that I generally prioritize elemental weapons rather than status. Alright, let's Hunting Horn. I don't remember the Hunting Horn songs, help. The reason why I have 2 armor sets that are the same here is because I'm sort of holding a slot for one of them. What that means is that I was reorganizing my armor sets, and through doing that I created 2 duplicates, so one of those will be replaced by an armor set soon. I believe that will be an Adrenaline light bowgun set. Oh god, Mimir is invisible, because he's a fucking phone user. I fucking hate phone users. Okay, so... hold on. Oh god. This is one annoying thing about online in this game, and it's only because of phone users. This shit doesn't happen with phone users. Or with desktop users, sorry. I'm just letting him know that he's invisible, so... yeah. The crazy thing is that he is the host of the quest, and yet I can't see him, so... you can see that because Glader has lost his quest, that means Mimir has gone and left the room, and he will come back. The reason why this happens is because what happens is phone users will not be using a PC to communicate on Discord, they will be using their phone. And so when they minimize the game on their phone and go to Discord, it causes them to disconnect. It's like a soft disconnect from the room. How it works is that they disconnect from some players in the room, and I'm usually one of those players, and it's freaking annoying. Anyway. Fucking phone users. If you wanted me to tell you one thing that bothers the shit out of me about Hunsterverse, it's phone users. Why? So now I can just use fire or thunder. I don't care that much, really. Okay. Just as long as when I return into the room, he's not fucking invisible again. Then I'll be really pissed off. So, is fire or thunder better? This is one thing that I have been debating with myself over for a while. Nargacuga's weaknesses. I'll just double check to see. Seems that thunder is a primary weakness, but I can't guarantee that that's the case in all of the games. Let's just go thunder, why not? I don't care anymore. In terms of weaponry, I kind of want to use the dual blades. Do I even have thunder dual blades? I don't think I do. No. Alright, let's use the sword and shield. Warning, warning, do not use sword and shield in Freedom Unite. It's extremely, extremely weak. Like, really, don't use it, please. Yeah, not many people play Freedom Unite anymore. It's good to actually be able to play it online. Even if you're having to hunt with fucking phone users. I mean, what gets me, and I do understand that people just don't have computers in this day and age. I do understand that. It's weird, and it's usually in specific countries like Southeast Asia, which are not quite so affluent. But some people just don't have computers, they have phones instead. So everything that they would do on a computer, they instead do on a phone. And what that translates to is people playing Freedom Unite and Portable Third on their phones instead of on a computer, so yeah, it's terrible. How it works is the Hunsterverse community, because it's all... I mean, they don't actually condone stealing the game, right? They say that you should own a copy of the game and play online using that. That's just to cover their bases, because they don't want to be seen publicly condoning that stuff. But, yeah, the situation is a lot of the people who come into Hunsterverse are people who just don't really have the money to play the newer games. They need to buy systems like the Wii U, the 3DS, the Switch, maybe even the other generation consoles. Maybe they don't have a decent PC to run World as well. So basically, a lot of the people in Hunsterverse are just people who don't have that much money, unfortunately. And what links into not much money? Southeast Asia. I don't know why, but it does. At least on the internet. So if you want to find people who don't have that much money on the internet, Southeast Asia. That's That's the demographic you're looking at. It's weird, I know, but it's actually how it works. So, yeah. Mimir is from, I don't know where he's from, but he's Southeast Asia, obviously. Like, there's absolutely no question whatsoever that he's from Southeast Asia. I just don't know which country it is. See how much range the Nargacuga tail has in this game? That's one thing about Naga that bothers me in Unite. Keeping in mind, of course, that Naga is the flagship monster of Unite. This is his first game. The fight is generally pretty good considering what some of the fights in Unite are, because as I was saying just before, a lot of the Unite fights were not made better in this game at all. So, yeah. When it comes to the Sword and Shield combo, I would say the faster you can do a spin like that, the better. Because to be honest, the spin has pretty good motion value, I think. So, I don't really want to mess around with the overhead bashing strike, if you understand what that is. It's a weird description for it, but... Oh my Jesus Christ, that guy from before is still pinging me, and it's pissing me off to high hell. Hi Delta, welcome. Just hunting a Nargacuga at the moment. The original Nargacuga. There was no Nargacuga before the one I'm fighting right now, so this is the raw, genuine experience of Nargacuga. The only difference really, as I was explaining before, is the range of the tail. The tail is a lot more frightening in this game, I have to tell you. All tails are more frightening in this game, actually. You don't want to mess around with the Fatalis tail. That is nightmare fuel. Yeah, everything got nerfed in the recent games, I would agree with that. As Shepard said on one of my videos, back when everything used to actually hurt. So, that's an accurate description of this generation, I suppose. Really? That's interesting, Delta. Just for the people watching after the stream, like after the fact of it being live. Delta says, I feel like if I started playing Monster Hunter since Freedom and Freedom Unite, I would not have liked the series as much. I do somewhat understand how that could possibly make sense, because there are definitely people out there who are Monster Hunter purists who can't really play the modern Monster Hunter games. They've since disappeared, like, during the last 6 to 10 years, those people have actually disappeared, right? So, you don't see them around very much. You don't see people saying, oh, I can't actually play the new Monster Hunter games anymore, because they've gone, they've disappeared, because there's nothing for them. So you're not actually exposed to them. When you come on Hunsterverse, you start getting exposed to it again, because there are people who come here from the X-Link Kai days, and I'm sure there are still people who play on X-Link Kai, weirdly enough. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But, you start finding those people who just can't go beyond this point. And I can't really relate to that, because while I did start in Freedom Unite, I did have an absolute blast in Tri. And Tri was my first Monster Hunter game, admittedly, where I really went endgame. In Unite, I hadn't played it that much. Did Naga's tail hit me just by turning? I don't think his tail hit me, but monsters turning on the spot in this game is a lot more flinching than it is in the other games. How it works in the other games is that rather than getting knocked on your hands and knees, you instead have a standing flinch, where you just go, "Ugh!" and that's it. But in this game, when a monster turns, you get properly knocked. So, that's just a thing to get used to in the older games, I guess. If you were of the interest, or if you were interested in playing them. So once again, Sword and Shield, don't use it. Don't follow my example, please. I'm only doing it for fun. I'm basically leeching on this quest because of how little damage I'm doing, comparatively speaking. There are two people using the King Atalat sword, which is the original name of the Serra Symmetry, which is of course the Black Diablos, White Monoblos greatsword. And that is the strongest greatsword in the game. We've got two people running that right now. And that other guy is also using Sword and Shield now that I look at it. And to be honest, I would say that I'm doing more damage than he is, so you know what? I don't feel quite so bad now. I'm probably not the one doing the least amount of damage on the team right now, so how about that? Delta says that he started in Try, but didn't quite like it at first. But you kept going back and you started enjoying it. That was me in Unite, actually. I enjoyed it, sort of. That was because you have to understand, around the same time I was playing Demon Souls, and it was the exact same experience in that game. I was getting my ass kicked, but I was enjoying it. It was the same in Unite, because this game was kicking my ass as well, absolutely, because the old Monster Hunter games were rough to start in. Because, for example, if you started in the later Monster Hunter games, and you can remember and visualize yourself having problems with the game, imagine if the game didn't hold your hand at all. Like, at all. Absolutely minimal hand-holding. Basically, the failure was a lot more prolific, and I did suffer a little bit. But I eventually overcame that and got at least into high rank in Guild, I think, before Try came out. At least in the West. And then I got Try and really had a blast. It was unforgiving. You wouldn't really realize unless you started in one of the older games, but not having gathering markers really was rough. You just didn't know what the fuck you could gather and what you couldn't. Because you hadn't reasoned in your head what was a visual aspect to the map and what was actually something you could interact with. It becomes very natural now as a Monster Hunter player to be able to see and differentiate between just some background aspect to the game. See this here? I know that this is something that I can gather at because it's visually apart from everything else. But when you're just starting in the game, you would not even dream of this being something you could gather at. And I have no recollection of this even being something I would gather from. I have no recollection of that, but I know through my experience with Monster Hunter that that's something I can gather at. That's not just some random thing. So what I'm basically telling you is that not having gathering markers, for example, was rough when you're trying to learn what you're doing. So things like gathering quests were hard. I'll never forget that my first, and this might sound a bit ridiculous, I'm going to admit that, but my first gathering quest, which was mountain herb picking in Freedom Unite when I first played the game, I was having some problems with that. Like, I couldn't really complete it. I was just lost as to where to find the fucking mountain herbs. I couldn't find them. And then I eventually found them. It might have taken me 35 minutes to complete that gathering quest. Probably longer, actually. I never used a walkthrough for it, fortunately. That would be kind of embarrassing had I done that. But I did work it out on my own in the end. And to be honest, you know, if you can have that much trouble with a gathering quest, then obviously the game holds your hand a little bit less, clearly. But it's still nothing compared to that ushering quest, and I am using speed up occasionally here. I don't intend to do that, it's just a bit of a habit of mine. But I would prefer not to do that because it's not really the authentic PSP experience, but I guess nothing about this is the authentic PSP experience anyway, because I'm playing at really high quality on a PC, so yeah, that's the situation. But certainly, there are certain aspects to this game that you just wouldn't necessarily expect to be really difficult as a first-time player, and gathering markers has a bigger impact than you might think. I do remember when I first saw the gathering markers in Try, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'll take that. I was absolutely on board with that, but I'm sure that there were people out there who would have seen those gathering markers and gone, what have they done? They're simplifying and streamlining Monster Hunter and making it more accessible to idiots. I'm sure that there were people who had that opinion. But for me, I don't know what it was. Maybe I was sensible enough to see that this is a reasonable progression point. You know, we can see what we can gather now. Great. Gonna buy some milk? Alright. No problem. Do what you have to do, man. Need some milk. Need some dairy intake. Sounds good to me. So basically, whatever I'm hunting, I'm more or less at the mercy of Mimir. I think he's not... Actually, I need to get some friendship points. Let's do that. Has he already thanked for this quest? Asshole! He didn't even have a bonus. I would guarantee that Korobes, which is a... That's the Discord name of the guy. Hold on. Mandy just sniped. Damn it. Having weird problems with my connection. As far as not actually the online connection, but my connection here with this. I'm going to kick Mandy momentarily, which is something that you can do within Hunsterverse. If Mandy chooses not to... Okay, well, if you don't leave in a moment, you will be kicked. So I'm just going to confirm the name of that person within Hunsterverse. Doing the shrug emote, well, or gesture. You've got a few seconds before I kick you. Leaving? Nope. Get out. So, basically, it's going to kick in the chat, and then Mandy will be removed from the room. 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you. So that is the Hunsterverse kick system. It's very good. So Glader is... I need to check if he has a bonus. Let's have a look. Actually, let's at him. Yep, he has a bonus, and some guy is doing friendship points without a bonus. What an arsehole. You guys don't really know what I'm talking about. Just Hunsterverse things. Excuse me. That's right, Unlucky. It's designed for newcomers. It's sad, that's why I don't like World, but, you know. What are we hunting now? Oh, this. Now we're doing this. Okay. So, alright. Hunting horn time. Just quickly go and do this. Need to remember the songs. I can't remember them now. I'll have to get my hunting horn sheet out because it has been a long time since I last ran hunting horns, so... Spooky. Maybe I still have it up in amongst my huge number of tabs. Shit. I don't think I have it here. I would have removed it at some point for some other tab. I'm at the point where I'm on my laptop and new tabs that I create are invisible. Like, I can't actually see the tab that I create because it goes off the screen. So, I have something within the region of 50 tabs open on my laptop Google Chrome. It's a bit out of control at the moment. I've always been like that. For as long as I can remember. Actually, not for as long as I can remember. It must have been around 2010 when I started losing control. I lost control of myself and started creating too many tabs for me to handle. What was... hunting horn notes, we'll say. It's just so that I know what I'm playing. I can't remember what I'm playing. So, hunting horn note guide for PSP. June 2009. Pretty much when the game came out. Okay, so let's have a look for... What is it? The... I have actually forgotten. It's an ancient dragonwood. Divine ancient dragonwood. Oh, it's divine. Divine ancient dragonwood flip. Okay. Now I know what I can do with my hunting horn. Good. Now for those of you who have not seen original hunting horn, you can see some original hunting horn. It's good fun. For those of you who aren't really used to it, I'm sure it would feel like absolute crap. Hi Ristretto, welcome. It's time for some original hunting horn fun. Some would not describe it as fun. I would describe it as fun. Do some movement speed up to start with, of course. Just for the time being, I'll have to minimize my chat display so that I can look at my list of songs. So we're starting with Hypnoc here. Whoa, whoa. Alright, movement speed up. We'll do attacks harder to break as well. Then, oh, that's super easy to remember. Purple, red, red for... whatever it's called. Attack up. That's not red, you asshole. calling myself an asshole, don't worry about it. I would not recommend going close to the monster to do this, by the way. Oh, for the love of my ass. Don't worry, guys. I'm a professional hunting horn player. Alright. So is there anything else that I want? I mean, I'll do the encore, of course. There's no encore with hunting horns yet in this game. You just have to play it again. That's how it works. Wind press, is that needed? Oh, infinite stamina, we'll do that. But I'll try to actually play. Oh, God. So, of course, Hypnoc is the sleepy boy of this game. Oh, can you not? He's not the only sleepy boy, though. You do have Basarios as well, of course. Alright, I'll stay away from you. You've given me ample incentive to stay the hell away. No, I've just done the wrong thing. This way. So you can actually note cancel really easily. Because it takes so long to play each note, so... Alrighty. Don't mind me, I just haven't been doing anything for the first 2 minutes of the hunt. Welcome to Hunting Horn. Oh god, that's right. This combo that I'm doing right here is achieved just by pressing triangle. Well, yes, triangle. I was about to say, you know, it's only triangle because I'm using the PS4 controller, and then I realized, hold on, PSP. So, yeah. I was helping, guys. Although I did achieve a paralysis there, so that worked out. I don't need to carve because it's just mega potions anyway. I remember the songs now. Yeah, those hitboxes are pretty fun. So, what are we hunting next? It is Emerald Congalala. He starts down over... He either actually, I think he starts here. It's either here or the area over here where Emerald starts. I'm going to guess that it's actually over here. So, might kill these guys to start with. But yeah, commenting on the hitboxes is, yeah, needed. Because that's old Monster Hunter in a nutshell. How do I feel about Unite? It's my first Monster Hunter, and I love it. I'm very forgiving of it. You poor bastard. You poor monkey. Pink monkey. Yes, they are Black Fox. Black Fox? Hold the fucking phone. Black Fox. It is you. Grail. Welcome. Did you find me through Hunsterverse, or did you just randomly find me on Twitch? Oh, so he does start up here very well. Yeah, I would agree with that, Black. It's definitely a case where people do like to rip on 2nd gen because they haven't experienced the awfulness of 1st gen. You have to look at it comparatively in that sense. So, do they still have their attack up? Mimir doesn't, and I don't think I do, so I'll just replay that now. For those who are not aware, Black Fox is a moderator at the Hunsterverse Discord, so... Just playing some more attack here. Have to replay it. Even though that I'm... The fact that I'm not able to assist in the hunt is not too bad, because I'm giving them some more attack in the meantime, so... I'll reason that that's actually okay. But all it is hunting horn denial, don't worry. I don't have deodorant, FYI, so... At this point on, I just have to play good. That's all that is needed, essentially. I nearly got shat on in the face, but that's alright. Speed burst has expired, I may as well... Do I want to replay that? Actually, something that is needed to be replayed is movement speed, so we'll do that in a second. I'll just stay away from the monster. I do have sneak on this set, by the way. I'm a sneak hunting horner, that's right. You thought I was bad before, but... I'm actually a lot worse than you first suspected. Not as a player, but... Well, not in terms of skill, but in terms of, bullshit. I'm a bit of a bullshit hunter. Hold on. Shit. Damn it. You'll do have to excuse me, it's just I'm really not used to using hunting horn in this way. It's been a few years since this was the norm. And by a few, 10. A few. Oh god, that tremor. I can heal now, I should be doing that. God damn it. Because I knew he was going to do a rushing attack there. Emerald Congalala is a massively farty boy, but in the 4th generation games he is a fire boy as well. There we go. I helped everyone. No, I did. I really did. I gave them more attack and I helped out at the end. So. I can chain songs, that is true. I keep forgetting that. Does make a lot of sense. Oh dear, that infinite song mode. Now, let's check Nargacuga. He will start down here. Anything else that I need to play? In terms of songs, I do have a few others that I can play on this horn. I've got health max plus 50. I've got wind pressure small. So... but I don't really think that I need to play them right now. Maybe someone could benefit from health plus 50, but not me. Already have that. One thing in this game as well, that my kitchen cats are god-awful bullshit, so I really do need to get some better cats sometime soon. But laziness is really kicking in whenever I consider doing that, so I still have yet to bother. Yeah, I thought that was your shadow. Go for the KO. Because I haven't done that yet. Get away from the tail. You can trade me some cats? Wow. That would be quite nice. If you have some laying around, then I would be very grateful if you could do that. Because my worry is having to dismiss cats. I don't have that many cats, so I shouldn't need to dismiss any of them. For anyone who is not familiar with cat dismissal, it's probably one of the saddest things on planet Earth. Not just in Monster Hunter, but on planet Earth. So, I'm sure most of you are familiar with that. They're duplicated on trades, is that right? Okay. So I'll probably need to do some attack again. But I'll have to, well, I was going to say that I have to leave the hunt somewhat to be able to do that, but I've been given an excuse to leave the hunt by needing to heal now. Okay, Speed Burst has expired as well. Time for some hunting horn fun. Stop it. Oh, that's going to affect me. No, it won't. Attack. And, oh god. I was about to say, following Black Fox's advice, I will be chaining songs, but I got hit out of that, so... sketchy tale indeed. I would accept the crazy tale business of original Nargacuga as a charm factor, but... like, it's charming. So... no need to recital. Just do this business. How to play Hunting Horn. Doomlink learns with his audience. Oh god, that scared me a bit. Going to get some stamina back. Fortunately, I only need to play this once to get high level. Oh, that's right, I need to get some movement speed. I'll do attacks harder to break as well, why not? Can I chain this as well? I guess I can. No, I can't. That I do need to replay. All good. Righty, oh. I would say, once again, I mean, given how much time I've spent away from the hunt already, this Narg is probably close to death. Or Narga. Narg. I never say Narg. Why did I choose to use that shortening? I've got no idea. But, you know, Hunting Horn is great if you want to have a distraction from the hunt and then join the hunt and it's already over. So, long story short, want to be useless? I have the thing for you. KO? No. Crazy KO hitboxes. Like on your end. In terms of when KO is effective and when it's not, it's kind of spooky. I blame the spooky game. Spooky game, please don't hit anyone, thank you. Keep away and then I'll roll into the head. I may as well give up on this KO, I don't think that's going to happen. You're giving me a cat list, Black Fox, thank you. So you did actually manage to find me on Hunsterverse, Black Fox. Maybe you knew me already. It's just I haven't really spoken to you before. Just seen you here and there, banning various users in the report cheats channel, I think. I love how Nargacuga flies all the way over there, only to teleport over there. It's great. I love this game. No, but I do love this game. I say it as if I'm being sarcastic, but it is a good game to play. I would say that if this were the only Monster Hunter game that you could play, it would probably drive you nuts, but this is a very, very good balancer. If you feel like you've played too much of some other Monster Hunter game, or too much of new Monster Hunter in general, then whack this on and you'll find enjoyment again. In fact, just generally, if you feel like you've overplayed Monster Hunter as of late, crack this game on and you'll feel better about yourself. That's what I would say. There's only one Lord. Oh, that's true. My in-game name, yeah. That's why I do name myself Draculestia Lordzor. It's because those are the two in-game names that I run. Otherwise, I suppose I would name myself Doomlink, but anyway. So that is the epic hunt that we were going to do before, but it was instead chosen that we would do a Nargacuga on his own, but now we've gone and done this, so for the sake of enjoyment, I'll probably run Hunting Horn whenever I need to not be reliant on a particular element. So that's what we'll do. Have I ever played Monster Hunter Dynamic Hunting for iOS? For the shortest time you could possibly imagine, an old friend of mine who I used to play Try with back in 2010 and 2011, a real life friend, he got it in 2011 on iOS. And because, you know, it was reasonably well advertised back then, from memory. And because he was a Monster Hunter player, a casual one at that. So he wasn't exactly expecting the best experience, but he got it out of interest. And I don't think he ever got past Cutku, but I remember vaguely getting his phone and playing it. And it wasn't good. Put it that way. But you know the real experience that every single one of us have well and truly missed out on? Monster Hunter Massive Hunting, okay? That is the creme de la creme of Monster Hunter. And if you didn't know that before, you know now. That is the place to be, Monster Hunter Massive Hunting. Because it's massive. It's really big. Big hunting. Hunt big monster now. It's really good. No, but if you want to see some screenshots of Monster Hunter Massive Hunting, it will give you a perspective on dynamic hunting. To start with, Massive Hunting came out after Dynamic Hunting and looked... It was like the difference between 3rd gen and 2nd gen, except Massive Hunting was 2nd gen, and Dynamic Hunting was 3rd gen. So... I say that as a comparison, not as if they are actually 2nd and whatever gen. 2nd and 3rd. So, I don't know. Next, probably more epic hunts. So, Do you guys not know Monster Hunter Massive Hunting? Do you not know of this thing? Can I link images in Twitch? I've never done it before, but I'm going to try. If I can actually... You know, I have so many tabs that the new tab that I've created, you see, I created one tab for my, my songs. And that was the last one I could make before they were going off the screen, so now I have to find a tab to close. Hunting Horn FAQ for Portable Third. Go away. So we've closed that. Now I need to find Monster Hunter Massive Hunting. It's very special. To me. I should go and eat. Let's do that now. I haven't been going to my farm. I've been neglecting it heavily. Here's hoping I can link image files. Well, not, you know, on the internet. You're watching videos of it as we speak. Oh dear. Well, it's huge. It's massive. Okay. But once again, my cats are the bad, so don't expect to see any food skills or anything like that. Oh, hold on. Defense high. Just as I was saying that. I must have some random cat giving me skills or something, but... I couldn't be bothered linking it in the chat, but, you know, Massive Hunting. It's great. It was a long time ago. I think it was 2013. I mean, I suppose that's a long time ago by now. Jesus. But, what are we doing? I'm gonna try and talk to Mimir, see what he wants to hunt next. Probably another epic hunt, I would assume. Glader is posting a quest. I'll do whatever he wants. The only stuff that I need right at this moment in this game is Big Elder Dragon gems, and nothing else really. Big Elder Dragon jewels, I should say. I have to say that the quests have been going a lot faster here as compared to when I was playing 3 Ultimate before. Unsurprisingly. Oh, Mimir had to go. Alright, well, time to advertise it. I don't know if you're down for it, Black Fox, but you're welcome to join if you want to. Letting Glader know that he can post if he wants to. So I'm all good. It's actually better when you don't select which monster that you're going to hunt. It makes it more enjoyable in a weird way. Because it's a surprise. You look at the quest board, oh, we're going to do that? Okay. Yeah, we can do Terra. Glader needs some Terra Ceanataur, so we'll go and do that. Thunder will be the element, of course. So I'll find something with Thunder that I might want to use. I really need some Thunder dual blades because I'm itching to use the dual blades right now. But I guess we'll go hammer instead. Equip my hammer set. I don't really have a hammer set now that I think about it, so I'll run Fatalis and slap on the Kazu Thunder. That will do me. Reason why I'm using this set is because it doesn't... basically, when it comes to general Blade Master use, I have a set that uses high-grade earplugs. And then, if I'm fighting a monster that doesn't even roar, obviously high-grade earplugs is a bit of a wasted skill, so what I do is just run this set that you're seeing right here. My mic is doing weird shit, like moving on its own. I would guarantee that if you watched over a long period of time, my microphone would have just slowly moved. Yeah, that's correct, Delta, as I was saying. It's kind of really sad. I don't know what they were thinking with Massive Hunting. Like, how could they actually come out with an with a mobile Monster Hunter, like 2 years after the previous one, and actually have it look marginally worse. I don't know what they were thinking, but that's why Massive Hunting is such a meme, I suppose. It's because it's so bad. I mean, Dynamic Hunting, fair enough, it was the first time they gave it a shot, but with Massive Hunting, this was their second chance to make something that was half decent. I don't know. But they made something worse? It's like, what? I don't know. Black, I think I might have your guild card. Let me just check. Card list. I have a lot. Maybe not. I think I've only... Are you Grail in-game or are you Black Fox? Either way, I think I've only played with you maybe once in Unite. Unless I'm blind. It is possible. No, you are Grail. Here we go. I do have your guild card. It was last updated April of 2018, so... There you go. This is probably one of your characters, or is this your actual character? Oh, 900 uses of the heavy bowgun, probably your actual character. I have respect for that. Yeah, don't worry, I'm just blind. It's all good. Don't know who Kisum is, I didn't even check his hunter rank. Oh. Seems that someone's bypassing bans in Unite. Whatever. Let's go. Just run with 3, should be easy enough. It's only a... What is it? I've forgotten what we're actually hunting. I'm quite useless, as you can tell. Don't tell me. I'll remember. It is... Okay, Thunder Weakness. Terra Ceanataur. So there's a guy in Hunsterverse named PPSSPP, which is slightly confusing, but anyway. It does make me laugh that the PSP emulator does have the name PPSSPP. Not too much creativity went into the naming of that. But I'm not going to give those people too much flack, because hey, it's a really good emulator, so... I'm not going to say shit emulator if it has a shit name. But generally, my rule is I boycott things with stupid names, but I can't boycott PPSSPP. It's great. So this guy's going to die pretty quickly. Probably. If I stop getting hit by him like a retard. Might be a good course of action to avoid that sort of thing. I was playing with one guy, a friend of mine, during one period of time. And when he first heard this battle music, he was laughing. Just really, really laughing at how bad it was. Sounds fine to me. I very much enjoyed this map, actually. I will admit the battle music could be better, but just generally speaking, this is probably my favourite Monster Hunter location. It's really atmospheric and really creepy. It's the Kokoto Swamp, is that right? So, I very much enjoy it. The reason why first generation Monster Hunter is so noticeably creepier has to do with lore, I think. Because first generation, I have a feeling that the guys behind Monster Hunter in first generation were more focused on the lore than they were focused on the game itself. That's why it was so fucking bad. But one thing that came as a result of that was just the really creepiness, or the creepy factor, if that makes any sense. I don't want to say creep factor because that would imply something different. But, oh, look out for that. Kind of want to break the claws. Not that I need Terra stuff. I've long since stopped needing Terra stuff, but... because he's a pretty popular hunt in G rank. It always spooks me when he does this. He just disappears for a long time, and I know that when he pops up he's going to hit me. I just know it. You've never seen Terra Ceanataur before? The only difference between him and a regular Ceanataur is that this guy is a bit more water beamy. He may also have longer reach with his arms, maybe. But regardless. He is a subspecies exclusive to Unite. Doesn't exist anywhere else. Although, might exist in Frontier. But still. We're not going to talk about Frontier. Wait, is this the swamp of a different area? This is the swamp for the first village in Monster Hunter, which is Kokoto Village. Meaning that this is the swamp you go to in Monster Hunter 1, G, and Freedom 1. Okay. So I may as well sharpen myself up here. This is really annoying because don't worry. You guys don't even know what I'm trying to mess around with right now, so I'm not even going to bother explaining it. It would detract from the commentary. Most certainly. I need to break that other claw, it's bothering me. I may as well put down a trap just to make that a little easier. If you haven't noticed, my play has been slightly lackluster in this recording. I don't know exactly what that is, but whatever. Fortunately, I don't usually tout myself to be a good hunter, so don't have to worry about anything like ego or pride being damaged as a result of horrendous play. Did you just destroy my trap, you arsehole? I bet he has. That has to be destroyed. No, he didn't destroy it. Excellent. Let's get some hits off on the claw. Glader is using Magnitude, which is probably the best raw hammer in the game. Some would disagree. Some prefer the Black Diablo's hammer. Some prefer the whatever it's called, the Yeon Garuga hammer. But I use Magnitude personally. Someone said that it was a Copper Blangonga testicle. Now, I don't know where that would possibly come from. It looks more like an egg in a nest to me. But apparently, according to some people with very interesting powers of visualization, think that it is a Copper Blangonga testicle, so maybe it is. Maybe I don't know as much as they do. Could we maybe get a KO? I'm using a hammer and I don't... Wait, have we even had a KO? We've got 2 hammer users. This is horrendous. Did he want to capture? Why else would he have pinged there? Maybe he wanted to capture. Well, I've done my best. Anyway. I'm happy to do another one if you really need me to. But yeah, what I was saying before was that my general use armor sets, just for really any hunt, it's a choice between this set here, which doesn't have high-grade earplugs, a Stellar Hunter, for those who are not familiar with the 2nd gen skill names, because they had a different localization team, of course. Stellar Hunter is Honed Blade. So, originally you had basically the 3 Fatalis monsters, Black Fatalis, Crimson Fatalis, and White Fatalis. They all have their own special skills for their armor set. And I think you had... I forgot Black Fatalis, but you've got... Is it Emboldened? I could actually look at the skill list if I wanted to, but Crimson Fatalis has Guts and Adrenaline +2 mixed into one skill, so that's pretty cool. And White Fatalis has Honed Blade. So originally, Honed Blade was the skill of White Fatalis. Originally, that's where it came from. And I forgot which game was White Fatalis' first hunt. I don't know if it was 2 Dose or Freedom 2. But, anyway. Anyway. A different map from the marshland that is in Gen and Gen U. Pretty sure he was Dose? Alright. I don't know what the marshland is. It could be... I don't know the renames in Gen and Gen U. The marshland could have been 2nd Gen Swamp. Probably was. This is referred to as Old Swamp. This location does not exist in Gen U, I can tell you that much. Or Gen. So... I would guess the marshland was the rename of 2nd Gen Swamp. So basically, the only time where you go to the original locations in this game are in Nekot's high rank quests and in G rank quests in the guild. Aside from that, you don't go to those old gen locations. For the most part, they take place in the 2nd gen locations that were originated in 2 DOS. So, I think I'm alright with my inventory right now. I'm not sure what we're hunting. I don't know if we're doing another Terra. So this PPSSP guy, I'm guessing, is bypassing bans, is that right? There's just a bit of drama going on in the Freedom Unite chat in Hunsterverse at the moment. Anyway. There was some guy in the Report Cheaters channel who was saying that he pretty much actively said, I'm going to bypass some bans. Like, if you ban me, I'll just make another character or something. Which was quite funny. I'm not really following what's going on, but anyway. Just a bit of random drama. Flying Meal Pass. Plus. So if we do end up doing more Terra, I'll be alright with that. But I'm not going to do any more than 2. That would be annoying. Yeah, for those who are not familiar with PPSSPP as an emulator, if you do suddenly see things going super fast, I'm just using the speed up. Which is just to help things along in terms of, you know, if I have to sit through some long eating animation, I prefer to speed up. I do it in Freedom 1 as well, admittedly, because there's no way to actually skip the eating animation in Freedom 1. Now, that sounds terrible, but it was the same in Gen, I think, wasn't it? There was some game where you couldn't skip it. No, it was 4 Ultimate. In 4 Ultimate, you couldn't skip the eating animation. Like... in every game since Freedom 1, or since after Freedom 1, since 2 DOS we'll say, I'm guessing you've had the option to skip eating sequences, but nah, not in 4 Ultimate. Let's go backwards on that. Why not? Were you playing with Sam, Unlucky? Because I know you lot did have a bit of a Freedom 1 session for a while. Or for a short time. I don't know how long that lasted for, maybe a week or so, week or 2. I heard of it, but... Under the Gaze of Heaven? What other thunder weapons do I have that I'd like to use? Maybe we'll just use the hammer again. Yeah, so it's my only confusion, Delta, was the use of the term marshland. I'm not familiar with the renames that Generations and Generations Ultimate came up with. So, yeah. I did guess that it was the 2nd gen swamp, regardless. But yeah. So, in the context of 2nd gen, the original locations were prefaced with the term old. So, old swamp, old jungle, etc. Old volcano. In 1st gen, they were just called swamp, volcano, jungle. So, yeah. Not exactly the most creative titles, I agree. So I'm not so much opposed to the renaming in Gen and Gen U. It's just, I'm not familiar with those renames, so... Yeah, I think you've done a huge service to your PC, Unlucky, by choosing to run Freedom 1 for a short time. Because that game is dirty. And I wouldn't want you to dirty your PC over that. It's really dirty, actually. Filthy. It makes me sick. Let's go fight Terra first. He starts down here. Aiken is pretty much already there, so let's do it. May as well paintball you. Don't have many paintballs, I should go and grab some. We'll do a spin golf swing, why not? In the face, please. Oh my god, I span out. The reason why is because it changes for every single game at what point you spin out. Well, not in every single game, but at the very least it's different here. So I do often accidentally spin out because... Oh, can you not? I'm getting the ever-loving shit beaten out of me right now. This is not quite what I was wanting. Anyway. You do not get free Mega Potions in this quest, by the way. You do get actual cards, which is good. It's better. But that just means that I can't use too many potions like I was before. I was being lazy before because I was getting free Mega Potions, but now it's time to try and play nicely. Sorry, you weren't there on my screen. There's not much I can do about it. Mate, oh, missed the goal swing there. Ooh. Time to run. I'll probably be streaming for another hour or so, by the way. Alright. Oh god. It does spin around with that. That's the danger. I span out again! Or spun out. Whatever. Like, seriously. Terrible, terrible shit. Waste of time, because the whole point is to lead into the golf swing. It's just because of the really weird and unresponsive game controls. I technically didn't spin out, it's just that past a certain point it ignores your input and then makes you spin out after 2 seconds of the game ignoring your input. Well, not 2 seconds, maybe 1 second, but still, it's terrible. It's not like the other games. Yeah, it does scream a bit. That is Kezu weapons in general, I think. They do make a bit of noise. I did have one person who was super confused one time when I was using this hammer. They thought a Kezu was nearby, but actually it was just me attacking with the hammer. And it's one thing to mention about something that people just don't really notice in Monster Hunter, and it is a huge thing to mention. It is the fact that so much time has gone into making every single weapon have its own unique sound. So what I mean by that is when you swing it, it has a specific sound. When you sheath it and unsheath it, it has a specific sound. Now consider how many weapons are in each Monster Hunter game. That's a lot of time going into making those sounds. And then, I'm pretty sure World doesn't have that. I mean, that's a bit of a dirty comparison because I don't like talking about World in general, but I mean, there are so many things that World didn't do, basically. One of the worst things that World did was not really do any sound work at all. They were reusing sounds from other monsters in monsters that were... Oh, capturing? Okay. But yeah, there was a lot of sound reusage in World. For instance, you know, you'd be fighting Duratotus and he's making Plesioth noises. It's like, what? And then Daora is making Alatrion noises. I'm not talking about similar noises. I'm talking they've ripped the actual sound files from the old games and just plonked them into World because fuck making new sounds for that. We've got some money to make. Let's chimp out on things like sound. But you know, that's World. And I'm not talking about it anymore. The thought of even talking about that game while playing Unite makes me sick, so I'm going to not. But I will be streaming some of that game. If not this week, then next week. Because I do like to play it from time to time. Not too much, but just a little bit. And for that reason I haven't been, you know... There is a period of time that we're in right now where people are super, super sick of playing that game, and I'm thinking, well, why were you playing it so much in the first place? It's not even worth playing that much. Just play it a little bit. and then you can spread the content out a bit more. Like, I can go on there and still do things that I have... There's still so much that I haven't done, even this far in, so I'd say it's better. I'm not going to paintball, actually. We shouldn't be losing this guy. They did reuse monster noises, but they didn't actually take noises from monsters that were no longer in the game and attach them to new monsters. That is an order of magnitude worse, in my opinion, than carrying over monster noises, because that makes sense. But seriously. And then the noises that they made that were unique for World were terrible. Look at Rathalos. Rathalos sounds like a joke. I remember when I first heard him while playing World, and I'm like, that's not Rathalos. That's actually not his sound. It's not similar. It doesn't even suit him. It just sounds like a joke. That was my interpretation of it. But, anyway. Probably the only good sound that they ever made in that entire fucking game, at least at this stage, is Basil. With his weird elephant noises. And the way he goes, woo, woo! I mean, there is a better way for me to actually imitate that. But that would require me being really loud. And I'd rather not be going, woo! Like, repeatedly. So... it's somewhat disruptive. Anyway, that's it for world discussion. I really don't want to talk about it. Oh dear. I'm not spinning out anymore, fortunately. I've gotten used to it. Because I have been playing Hammer in 4th and 3rd gen lately, so... I haven't been checking YouTube chat. Hopefully no one's watching on YouTube because I've been neglecting them severely at this point. It's been like, I don't know, 40 minutes since I last checked. Oh, come on, laptop. Let's do it. Come on, I know you can do it. I know you can load it. Let's go. Don't think I've been neglecting anyone, no. Nope. It's good to see. My laptop is just, it can't handle what's going on right now. It's seriously having some problems. Spinning again, but not spinning out. That's what we want. I don't want to be doing any super pounds because this is not like the sort of monster where you want to be super pounding. It'll be really easy to hit your teammates. We didn't break any of the claws. That was my negligence, I would say. It is usually my aim to always break the claws on a Ceanataur, but I must have been distracted by talking about games that I shouldn't be talking about while playing Freedom Unite, so yeah. Well, thanks for stopping by, Ristretto. In terms of which game that I actually like to play most in terms of generations in Monster Hunter, well, what I've been playing most recently, I couldn't even say, because I always jump from generation to generation a lot. In terms of what I enjoy playing the most, probably 3rd gen, but I couldn't actually pinpoint what gen I've been playing the most, because I think to have the most varied and enjoyable experience with Monster Hunter, you shouldn't just stick with one generation for a long time. You should jump from each one. It keeps it really fresh and enjoyable, in my opinion, so yeah. The thing with 2nd gen, as I was saying before, it's really, really good to jump into this when you feel like you've played too much of the other games, or if you feel like you're burning yourself out on Monster Hunter, because it's such a different experience, actually, to come into 2nd gen. For me, I end up tapping into skills that I developed a really long time ago, and it's really quite nice. I enjoy it. So, you don't want to play it for too long because, admittedly, it does become a little bit grating when you start to really experience the limited weapon design. The weapon combos are not very good in Unite, seriously, and that's probably one of the things that players of the newer games would find most grating about Unite. It's the fact that the weapon combos are extremely limited. There is a nice aspect to that, actually. It's the fact that you don't really do so much with the weapon, yet you are at peak effectiveness. It's a weird thought, because when you... Let's say, for instance, there's no spirit combo, well, there is a spirit combo, but there's no spirit slash with the longsword. But not having the spirit slash with the longsword is not leaving you out of damage. Like, you are at peak effectiveness by not using a Spirit Slash, which is a strange thought. So, it's interesting to play a game when you're at peak effectiveness while doing less with the weapon. It's just it's a weird experience, and it's unique. So, while it is kind of annoying, gameplay-wise, because you're still effective, it's actually kind of fun. Because it's a different way of playing. I would compare it to not having a charge capability with greatswords in first gen. Like, you would, if you chose to use the greatsword in any game beyond first gen and not charge at all, you would not be even remotely effective. So, to actually play a Monster Hunter game where not charging with the greatsword is peak effectiveness, that's unique. So, that's how I look at it. And that's probably one of the ways in which I can still enjoy it. Gold Cat Hammer, can we do it? No. That was close. Gold Cat Hammer has some really weird timing, I'm telling you. You think you've got it, perfectly, but you just don't. It takes like half an hour for this cat to do his bullshit, that's why I usually skip it. Generally you do this for phantom butterflies, but I think I've got enough of those. I ended up using a few expand pickaxes on phantom butterflies. By the way, expand pickaxes are slick axes, for those who are more familiar with the older games. Sorry, the more recent games. How many slick axes do I have and how many phantom butterflies do I have? I just wanted to check that while I'm here. If I could use my eyes, here we go. 11 expand pickaxes, which is pretty good. Obviously I've done a few quests that drop those, which is very nice. I can't remember what quest it is, but I must have done a few. The trick is to press X after the flash. Well, I've definitely done that before, and it hasn't worked. So, it blows my mind, that gold hammer. Have I eaten? No. I don't know what we're hunting next, but I would prefer not to do any more Ceanataur. I think we've definitely done enough of that. How long have I been streaming for? 1 hour and 27 minutes. That's actually incredible. I've been streaming for 1 hour and 27 minutes, and it's currently 11:27, so... Obviously, I started at exactly 10 AM, which is nice. Just ask, no, I can't do the party command because I'm not in the room, so... I just want to ask what we're doing. I don't want to do any more Ceanataur. I am at the point where I'm just not interested in doing it as well. Not just for the sake of the stream, but I'm sick of him now. I have fought a lot of Ceanataur in this game. Most people have, because he is a good monster to fight for raw weapons that are relatively easy to get, as well as some armor sets as well, in the early game. Just asking what we're hunting now and letting them know that I'd rather not do more Terra or regular Shogun. Treas is asking if anyone wants to do Hunter Rank 6 Fatalis. Not really. I really do not want to do that. No gauges in Freedom Unite? Not true, actually. You do have a charge gauge for Longsword. You just don't have a charge gauge for Dual Blades. So, any other examples of that? Not really. No more Krebs. Yeah, I'm sick of Krebs. They can fuck off. There's something about crabs, you know. You get to the point where you just can't do them anymore. You fight one too many crabs, and you go insane, pretty much. So, I've reached the point where I'm done with crabs and need to do something else, so I'm open to anything. This guy's using a Rarity 7 Sword and Shield, bless him. Rarity 7 Sword and Shield on G-Rank monsters, holy shit. This poor guy. I feel sorry for how little he's doing. Rathalos? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to experience something. A Rathalos, his primary weakness is ice. Because that is old gen Rathalos for you in terms of elemental weaknesses. Ice is the primary one, and I think water might even be the secondary. It probably isn't though, it's probably thunder. But I do know that dragon is really not the weakness. What am I doing? We're going to do bow. And I do have my decorations sorted out for this, so that's nice. Need to get... no. Where is it? Am I blind? Icicle bow. That's what we want. We have eaten. We're good to go. Excuse me. Dragon and water are about equal. So I guess thunder is really not the... I wasn't sure if it was dragon or thunder that wasn't working. I guess it's thunder, which you really don't want to equip on Rathalos in this game. But it is, even to me, who has played a lot of Unite, and this was my first game as well in Monster Hunter, even to me, the thought of ice being the most effective element on a Rathalos is really weird. So, I do like that. And I have actually played with people who genuinely thought that I was trolling in Unite when I told them, you do realise that he's not weak to thunder, right? Or whatever element it was. And I was saying that ice was actually the main weakness. It's also okay against him. Alright. So I guess he's just fairly elementally weak in general. But ice is the standout. So we will probably 3-man, unless that guy doesn't want to come back because we're not doing whatever it is. Yeah, the weaknesses do vary by colour. Pretty sure thunder becomes the... Well, I'm not sure how it is with silver in this game. The weakness to water does vary a little bit. There is a greater weakness to water in 3 Ultimate versus Portable Third even, to my knowledge, so... I don't know what the water weakness is like in this game. So thunder is bad, okay. Damn it, Black Fox. Alright, so Atreus is joining. Good on him. I don't know if that other guy is coming back. I'll double check to see if he is. V3 is hanging around. We'll see if he wants to come. Although I will confirm whether or not that other guy's coming first. Where the hell is he? Forgot his name. Because of all this drama going on, I can't find his name in the... There it is. I need to make sure that I get some coatings. This shoots power, doesn't it? Yes, it shoots all coatings, so I'll go and get them. I probably have a few in my inventory, but... Lazy. Not inventory, sorry, in my box. But, you know, lazy. So I'll just buy them. I didn't have enough to really put in my box anyway. In my inventory. I'm swapping the terms box and inventory as if I were mentally deficient, so don't worry about me. All good. So that guy is setting up a set for the fight, which is all good. Silver is weak to water and thunder equally. Gold is only weak to thunder. Yeah, makes sense. Both of them are immune to dragon. Okay. So that's most profound with Rathian, actually. Because Rathian, from memory, is the... When you compare Rathalos and Rathian, Rathian is the one who really takes the damage from dragon. So to have gold be resistant to dragon, that's the biggest elemental change across the subspecies, I would say. Waiting on this guy once again. I'm patient, it's just that I do like things to move at a faster pace with the live stream. There we go. Atreus is saying that he had 2 PPSSPs open and he's hoping that it doesn't affect his save at all. I would hope not. I hope it's not that easy to corrupt a frickin' save, but I do make backups, but thing is, I make backups every month or so, so if I do have a save file corrupt at any point, then I'm still going to lose a decent amount of progress, probably, so I would much prefer that not to happen. What's he running? Ukanlo's heavy bowgun. It's been a while since I've seen that. He is shooting Pierce. He's got bullet limit. That basically makes it so that whenever you combine for a shot, you will always get the maximum number possible to combine for the shot using that material. Capacity up is load up. And then attack up medium. That is a decent set. Aside from the defense minus 20, but you can offset that with something. Like, I don't know. Armor skin or whatever it's called in this game. I'm sure it's called something different, but... Alrighty. Let's take on a G-rank Rathalos in the old volcano. A king robed in smoke. Now the classic with this is that you kill him in the fire, and I'm sick of seeing people doing screenshots of Rathalos being dead in the fire. It's not funny. Stop. I see it every day almost. Anyway. The two most frequently screenshotted things in this game is Rathalos dying in the fire, or dying on the island. That's a common one as well. And then also the Rathalos tail being stuck on top of that stupid mound of earth in the forest and hills. The latter one that I just mentioned being the most common of them all, I think. And it's extremely annoying. Anyway. There we go. So I'm not actually bringing any combination materials for coatings here because this is just a single monster hunt. I think this should go relatively quickly. These Remobra are pissing me off. I'm going to take off my coatings and kill those little pricks. Die, please. I know I'm doing weaker shots, but you know. Can you not fly away from me? Whatever, we'll ignore that one. I've killed one Remobra and that should be enough for now. At the very least I've gotten my anger out. So he's shooting ice to start with, then he'll probably move to Pierce. Seems like an interesting set. Hopefully there's no background noise, I think. Yeah, something's being cut outside. They're actually cutting down a big tree outside, so I do apologise for any background noise that you might be able to hear from that. Generally when people cut down trees it makes a bit of noise, so you'll have to forgive them for that. I'm trying to see if I can hear it through the direct monitoring in my microphone. Oh, Glader is dead. Come on, man. It's just a Rathalos. As you can see, I'm being super lazy with my aiming here because, you know, spread. That's how spread works, you just kind of hip fire and don't really aim. Well, depends on the monster, really. If it's a monster who is a bit closer to the ground, then yeah, that's relatively easy to do. For those who are not familiar with old bow, there's no such thing as arc shot. The first game to introduce that was Portable Third. Wasn't Tri because Tri didn't have the bow. Portable Third was the big innovative game for a lot of weapon types. Because Tri neglected to include a lot of weapon types, so... The third gen treatment was, for the most part, in... Oh, for fuck's sake. But the first gen treatment was given to a lot of weapons in Portable Third rather than in Tri, so... Poor tree. Well, that tree is a problem, so please don't kill me. You little prick. I was just giving Glader problems for dying, and I've just gone and died. Maybe it's the spirit of the tree haunting me now, or giving me bad luck at the very least. I feel like shit now, I've actually gone and died. Anyway. Trying to listen to see if my mic is actually picking up the tree being murdered. No, but it was definitely time for that tree to go. Basically, it's right on the fence line of my property, and it's pushing the fence. So, if it grows any bigger, the fence is going to be heavily compromised, so I would much rather the tree go, unfortunately. It's not the tree's fault, it's our fault for building around the tree. But, you know. Maybe someone planted the frickin' thing while the fence was there. The tree's probably around 50 years old or something like that, so... I don't know when the fence was built. This house was built in was it 1930 or 1940? I can't remember. But God knows about the fence. Could have been built at any time. Well, it's not the original fence, but... there might have been one there when the tree was planted, who knows. Oh dear. Let's make sure that we don't do anything more stupid. Do anything else that's stupid, rather. Like dying. Much prefer not to do that. I do enjoy using bow in this game. Uh-oh. I meant to roll to the side, but clearly that was not what eventuated there, which was a little bit tragic. Could you imagine, just for the briefest of moments, if you could possibly visualize it in your mind, a triple cart for this quest? I don't even want to imagine it, actually, so how about I not even encourage you guys to visualize that? Yeah, it is a problem, unlucky. But because the tree is not on my side, it's not my responsibility to get rid of it either. So the people next door have made the decision to get rid of the frickin' tree before it becomes a problem for them. I remember taking a photo of the thing as far back as 2015 and going, okay, so if we ever need this to be taken up legally, then I have this photographic evidence from 2015 that the thing's pushing the fucking fence over, so... Took a while, basically, for it to be cut down at that point, so... Today is the day. Is that, I guess he's leaving the area. I was thinking it might have been Around the World, but no. Interesting fact, Around the World was a lot more scary in these games compared to 3rd gen. 3rd gen is when Around the World became a complete waste of time. Basically, Rathalos would fly around in 3rd gen, and he would just stop flying and then come back down. It's like he just needed a moment, he needed to relax. He just needed a timeout in 3rd gen whenever he was flying around. Yes, he would come down and sort of attack you, but it was never on target. If you actually managed to get hit by Around the World in 3rd gen, you were either making a sandwich or you were intentionally getting hit, so... Fun fact also, those exploding rocks do deal a decent amount of damage to the monster. And in fact, I have seen monsters die from it, so it's pretty good. Generally for Basarios, though, because he likes to hang around in these areas. But Rathalos as well, as you can tell, likes to hang around here. I'm running out of stamina. Uh-oh. So I probably would have gotten hit if I wasn't having poor connection right now. Because on my screen, Rathalos had to decide a little bit before he charged at me. With good connection, he wouldn't be doing that. I would suggest that on other people's screens I would have certainly gotten hit, but no. Random fireball right on target. Alright. Just need to be careful. Alright, he's looking at someone else. It is now safe to heal. One thing I need to make sure that I do is reapply all delays on my video and audio when recording Console Next through OBS, because I have a feeling that I'm going to completely neglect to do that, because I neglected to do that in the sense that I didn't remove my delays when I was first recording Portable Thirds, so that would be really annoying if I got to do that. If I forgot to do that while doing my next console recording. But I probably won't do another console recording for a while. In the context of Monster Hunter live streams, that would only be with, whatever it's called, 3 Ultimate. Everything else is on the PC now. Oh, you're not familiar with pre-Monster Hunter World Bow? It's very different. If you're actually not familiar with how it works, then let me know and I'll run you through how it works, but Yeah. It is very different. But interestingly enough, it was the same in all of the games until World. They really didn't change bow that much. The biggest change they made was arc shot in Portable Third. And then they made it R to shoot in 4 Ultimate. 3U kind of works on emulator. It does black, but there are still people playing the online servers at the moment on the Wii U. So I would prefer to play on Wii U until those servers shut down. I've got no idea when they're actually going to shut down those servers. But when it happens, at that point I will consider emulating 3 Ultimate with my original save. I'm sure I'll be able to homebrew my Wii U at some point and get that save over. But I'll worry about that when it becomes more of a necessity. I don't believe that my save will work with Citra, unless Citra can handle the Wii U version of the game, which I don't believe it can. It runs with the 3DS version. I wouldn't even dream of playing the 3DS version, emulated or not, because the font is rather close to being downright horrendous from memory, so yeah. Anyway. I'll probably do maybe one more hunt for the live stream. But yeah, I think 3U works relatively well. It just depends on what sort of system you're running, but I don't even think it's as demanding as 4 Ultimate is, so... Yeah, I can sort of hear that tree being cut down in my microphone there, so... Hopefully you guys don't find that to be too distracting. I may as well go and eat. Why do I choose to manually go there? I do have the ability to fast travel to these locations, yet I choose not to. The game's functionality is being ignored by me. And to be honest, there is a lot less functionality in the older games, so to actually actively choose not to engage in those functionality aspects is kind of sad, so... I don't know what we're doing next. Once again, I'll hunt whatever. See if Atreus has a bonus. He does. Excuse me. Alright, there are my huntering points. Not huntering points, friendship points. Now that I think about it, this was the last Monster Hunter game where you would have a... No, I'm full of shit. Portable Third was the last Monster Hunter game where you didn't have a hunter rank cap being broken. Portable Third was very interesting because in a way it felt like a departure from 2nd gen, but it also felt like it brought a few things back. So, it was because it was on PSP, I think, just generally. So you had ad hoc and all of that, so... While it felt like a step forward, in some respects it felt like a step back after Try, but... It was still a really fun game to play back then, in terms of being able to explore all of the new innovations that it was offering. Rathian. Fair enough. I'll use something else. What should I use? Dragon? Let's go dual blades finally. Why the hell not? Dual Dragon Ultimus. I was actually finding a bit of Rathian yesterday in Freedom Unite, because someone was trying to get Rathian Thorns, and they were getting really bad RNG with that. Sadly enough. For them. Then we did a Descendants of the King hunt, and I managed to get a few mantles there, or not mantles, heavenly scales. That's what it's called in the older games. Alright. Let's fight a Rathian. We've technically fought, well, not technically, we have actually fought a Rathian on camera here during this live stream, but I guess we're fighting another one. This is a full health Rathian. The previous one had reduced health because she was part of a epic hunting quest. I'll double check YouTube again just to make sure that I'm not neglecting anyone. It's always good to make sure. Because I do know that people have a preference for YouTube. Alright, so Rathian starts further up here. I don't know if you guys can hear that atmospheric background noise in this level, but it's very creepy. Hello, Giant Bullfango. Bulldrome Jr. Another big Bulldrome. The reason why we have so many big Bulldromes appearing is because this quest, as the sub-monsters, is Bullfango Herd. Am I being retarded? Did I actually walk past the monster? I did. Wow. I was too busy being enthralled by the giant Bullfango to actually notice that Rathian was in the area. She does blend in, as you can see. I'm going to kill this guy as well. Good move, Trace. Did you see how much that Bullfango got thrown? Poor bastard. In fact, no, not poor bastard, he deserved it. Because he's a Bullfango. Absolutely hate these guys. So yeah, as far as no charge gauges, that's definitely the case with dual blades, as you can tell. You're either in demonized mode or not. So, generally speaking, it is best to be in demonized mode if you want to do damage. And generally, when I'm running demonized mode in this game, I will just demon dance, and that's about it. Just avoid that tail flip. I'll be hit with... oh no, I didn't end up getting hit with wind press, which is good. You are a very tail flippy Rathian, I have to say. You absolute bitch. She must have tail flipped like 5 times, 6 times, within the space of a minute. What's going on with you? Are you a pink Rathian or a Rathian? Are you having some sort of identity crisis? God's sake. Do not have the patience for a tail flippy Rathian. That's why I don't like to hunt pink. I was happy to fight you specifically because I thought I was safe from that bullshit, but I suppose not. Anyway. I don't have any raw resistance here, but that's alright. I do have sharpness degradation resistance there. A lot of it. That was not the most on-target demon dance. 2 completely off-target demon dances. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm very good with the dual blades. Stop it. The hitbox on the tail is actually smaller in this game because the Rathian tail is thinner than it was in the remodel from 3rd gen and beyond. It is a tanned pink Rathian. I do not know what her deal is right now. I've never seen such a tail flip happy regular Rathian. What an obnoxious fight this is. She's either running around constantly or tail flipping. Seriously. Don't know who has the patience for this. Definitely not me. Don't you? Okay. As long as she doesn't do the double tail flip, I'm alright. There we go. I'll try and get some hits off on the head. Yeah, alright, do what you need to do. Don't know if it was just me being weird, but it sounded as if that roar was almost cancelled out in terms of the audio. May as well noob carve that tail. The reason why I noob carve, and this is important, it's because I forget to carve. I get distracted or I just completely forget generally. And yeah, that's why I noob carve. It's not because I'm like, oh, I need to get it now, I don't want to wait. It's actually just a case of me often forgetting if I don't carve it immediately. Especially if the monster leaves the area, because I'm focused on tailing that monster, not carving anything that... and you would think that the fact that she's missing a tail would be enough of a reminder, but it's not. Does that mean I'm retarded? Probably. But I'm not going to discount that as a possibility. Doomlink being retarded, who would have thought? I really let a Rathian have it yesterday with my Pierce heavy bowgun set. You know, I probably should do some heavy bowgun in this live stream. Maybe we'll do one more hunt after this so I can demonstrate that. I don't know what we're going to hunt, but hopefully something that I can heavy bowgun relatively easily. I'll probably run normal bowgun or something, if it's not pierceable. So I'm a bit worried to go into a demon dance there because, yeah, see? I decided to wait. I think it was mostly off target there. I need to sharpen momentarily, which is easy to do because I have speed sharpening. So let's do that. She's flying away. It's best to go this way. You'll just get to that, I call it the wheat field area. I don't even think it's wheat. It's just the tall grass, actually. I should think of calling it the tall grass, not the wheat field. It's stupid, it's not wheat at all. Just because it has that colour, all of that. All of the dead grass. Tall dead grass. Maybe it is wheat. Look at it. I don't know. Whatever it is. Whenever I think of it in my mind, it's always taller, and then I come here and it's not that tall. But things do get lost in here. If a monster drops a shiny in this area, have fun. You're not going to be able to find it again. Unless you're running around spamming circle, trying to pick it up. Oh dear. There we go. Goodbye, Rathian. So, I don't really need any Rathian materials, to be honest with you. There are probably a few poison-based weapons that I could craft using her materials, so I might need them later on, so I'm definitely going to carve everything. But generally speaking, I'm a huge item hoarder anyway, so if in my mind I decide, hey, I don't really need this monster material, I'm still going to keep it because I'm a huge hoarder, so... Or collector, we'll say collector. So I will probably do another hunt just so that I can demonstrate the heavy bowgun. But I don't know what it is that we're going to be hunting. So we'll see. No, I'm not a Kiwi. I am Australian. You can tell the difference between an Australian and a New Zealand accent based on the vowel pronunciations. So the E's and I's are swapped, for example. So instead of, if your name is Benjamin, and you have a New Zealander accent, you would say Benjamin, not Benjamin, Benjamin. There's the funny joke, it became a bit of a meme for a while, with the swapping of E's and I's, when there was an advertisement for decks. So like, you had, I don't know if it was actually people building the decks, or it was some sort of weatherproofing sealant for deck timber, but they kept on saying dick because, you know, swapping the E's and I's. So get the best thing for your dick, stuff like this, you know. And my New Zealander accent isn't actually good at all because I can't swap my vowels like that. It doesn't work. Like, my brain does not compute. Yeah. So all of these dick jokes, but deck, not dick as in your cock, but deck, dick, your dick. That's the point. So Basically, if I'm not talking about dicks, that means I'm not Kiwi. So, anyway. But yeah, if you can try and hone in on that, that's how you're able to differentiate between the Australian and New Zealander accent. I'm so sick of not speeding up for that. Let's just speed up so much faster. And then we will farm. Speed up, master. And guess what, guys? Let us gold hammer. Can we do it? Perfecto. God, that's a heavy hit. I feel bad for the tree. You've got the tree next door in real life that's being cut down, and then you've got this tree that I'm bashing. Maybe I have something against trees, I don't know. Would make sense. I don't know what we're hunting next, but I really don't want to do another Rathian. If it does end up being a Rathian, Kirin, Silver Rathalos, that would be pretty cool. Either of those I'd be down with. Although, not so much Kirin. I'd end up doing light bowgun at that point, but I'll have a look and see if anything's been posted. Just got done watching a Kiwi streaming Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Didn't know people were still streaming 3 Ultimate, actually. I was streaming it yesterday and the day before, so how about that? Bizarre that there's actually a streaming community for that game still, but it's good. Keeps it alive a little bit. It's easily possible that I might have actually been playing with the guy before. Imagine if we were both streaming, not knowing that we were streaming, like both of us were streaming, and we were hunting in the same quest. Like, that would be pretty funny. Copper Blangonga. Let's normal heavy bowgun. I don't remember the last time that I ran normal heavy bowgun on a Copper Blangonga, but I'm sure it will turn out fine. He says before things go horribly wrong. I will need to rework my decorations. This is one very annoying thing about old Monster Hunter. Decorations are not saved for armor sets when you register them. You have to do stupid things, like swapping them out. I equipped it to the waist piece here, Flying Jewel. The fact that I can even remember that is amazing. It's a matter of getting used to this stuff, really, so... No, that's not what I want. I want the chest piece. I'm retarded. Flying Jewel, basically. I want, evade distance up. The Meteor Cannon G, by the way, if you want to actually make this thing, go play lots of, or go hunt lots of Chameleos. G-rank Chameleos. He drops a lot of Melange. You need 30 Melange for this heavy bowgun. And for some reason I chose to mine that Melange. Instead of just killing Chameleos and getting chances for big Elder Dragon jewels as well. My stupidity knows no bounds, I can assure you that much. Excuse me. But yeah, I also play 3 Ultimate, whenever I can. And I do plan to play it more often these days, of course on Wii U. Yeah, look, I'd be playing on PSP as well, Nectu, seriously. It's just that the claw, while it's relatively comfortable for me because I'm used to it, you can't beat the comfort of this, okay? It just doesn't get better. So, at least for me, I mean, some people have a preference for other controllers, but hey, if you're going to choose between a PS4 controller and playing Monster Hunter on a PSP using the claw, it's very easy for me to decide which one's more comfortable, basically. And also the fact the game looks a lot better here, as you can tell. Being able to play with people very easily through Hunsterverse, all of that, etc, etc. It makes it very clear that emulating is the best way to go. So, what was I doing? Getting shots, that's right. I probably won't need... what are we hunting again? Copper Blangonga. What we'll do is just do this. I'm not going to bring any combination materials, I'm too lazy to set that up. 99 of both of these 2 shot types should be enough for the hunt. If it's not, then sad times will ensue. You say that you can't play PSP online anymore. I don't know if X-Link Kai still exists. Ad Hoc Party probably still works. It's just that you can't download it anymore, apparently. I do have it, of course. But I don't know when they stopped having Ad Hoc Party available to download, but I'd say if you did some weird exploits, you'd be able to get Ad Hoc Party on your PS3 some other way. Loading it onto your system through some bizarre means. No idea if Kai still is going, though. But one thing that I can tell you is that Hunsterverse is not the only service that exists that allows you to play with people in a community on the PSP Monster Hunter games. It's probably just the most active one. We need to head all the way up through here. I'm used to fighting Copper in the old desert. In fact, I would prefer that, but it's a little bit different to hunt him here. So I'm down for that. Haven't looked into that. I was an Ad Hoc Party player, personally, because I had a PS3. So I don't have much experience with X-Link Kai. Seemed like a bit more of a solid community, to be honest, in X-Link Kai. Whereas in Ad Hoc Party, there were a lot of Japanese people, a lot of randoms that you... I mean, you generally didn't play with the same people regularly. At least I didn't. Maybe I was just super unlucky. Well, I did play with the same people occasionally. But it's nothing like Hunsterverse or anything like that. And from what I can tell, X-Link Kai had a pretty tight community, so... No. Oh, he jumped over me. I do get that from time to time with this guy. Fucking Gen Pro. Just go away, I'm trying to hit the monster, not you. And you're technically a monster, but... Oh, Vespoid. It's one very annoying thing about gunning in first gen. All of the small monsters beating the shit out of you while you're trying to hit the other main monster. It's a lot more forgiving here in second gen. Everything, no matter what you do in first gen, makes you want to slit your throat, so... That's just how it works. Don't play that game. I'd love to have a better opportunity to hit his face, really, but he's not giving it to me. See, look. He refuses. Of course, Evade Extender is really useful. It's called Evade Increase, I guess, in this game. No, it is called Evade Distance Up. So it's not Evade Inc. or anything like that. Which is good. Bit more descriptive. Jesus. You need to relax, man. That... Oh, actually didn't have too much range to it, that particular rock or sand throwing attack. I don't know if it's rocks or sand or what. I don't know where he's pulling the rocks out from if they are rocks, but... I don't know if that was my flinch or not. It's very difficult to maintain critical distance with this creature, because he won't stay in one fucking place. So I'm just... As long as I'm on target, it's good enough for me. See, I'm slightly out of critical distance right here. This is perfect. And now it's a bit out, I think. Oh no, this is actually quite alright. He's a bit noisy when he flies away. He doesn't actually fly, he just jumps. And he covers a huge distance. I always thought that was pretty cool how the Pelagus monsters did that. I would be absolutely down. I was about to say I would be absolutely down for a trap, and then Treus reads my mind. Whew. Let's get some shots off on the head. I think you can body block shots in this game, so hopefully I wasn't getting any absorbed by Treus there. In fact, it might be possible that body blocking normal is a thing in all of the games. Yeah, those are rocks that he's throwing. There's no use saying, well, where do the rocks come from? I mean, this is not a game for realism. It's really not. Oh god. You know, I was just casually hunting and all of a sudden I'm seeing into the very being of an Gypceros, and that was not quite what I was wanting. I really hate Gypceros. To be honest, my two least favourite small monsters in the Monster Hunter series are Bullfango and Gypceros. Now, you might think it would be Rhinopolis for my second least favourite. No, Rhinopolis is third, actually. Gypceros are my second least favourite, because I find them to be insufferable. Because the thing is with Gypceros, is that you're not actually intending on doing anything ill towards them. But then they're coming after you, swinging their tails around. It's like, can you fuck off? If you actually just minded your own business, then you wouldn't have a problem. So we could both be friends, done. You're a herbivore, just stop. And you're not going to do anything to me by swinging your tail around anyway, so you can just die. In the end, they're just this annoying inconvenience. I absolutely hate Gypceros. But of course, Bullfango are worse because they're just relentless with their charging, so... Naturally, when it comes to inconvenience during a hunt, Bullfango takes the cake. But yeah. That's Copper Blangonga. Oh god. Let's put away normal 2. Massive bone, don't really need that. I think I have a lot. Leather Pelagus pelt, might as well. What do I not need? Nubble, discard. I would value 99 normal level 3 over that of a single Leather Pelagus pelt, because I think I do have a lot, so... I'll be getting more in the rewards anyway. Oh dear. Bullfango is the true monster. Absolutely hate that creature. And Bulldrome is awful as well. I mean, who the fuck thought that Bulldrome was a good idea? What a terrible monster. Just in general. It's always funny when you see the weakness point chart of Bullfango. He's just completely red. And weak to thunder, I think? Anyway. There's a Leather Pelagus pelt. Doesn't tell me how many I have in the box, but that's alright. Alrighty. So, that's Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, ladies and gentlemen. I will be doing some more live streams of Monster Hunter as the days go on. I'll probably slow down with them eventually, but for now I'm doing them almost every day, because I'm really enjoying the process of recording Monster Hunter live. I will be doing a lot of Freedom Unite, because I do love playing this game. Lately, this is a game that I do like to play a lot, even though I do play pretty much all of the Monster Hunter games these days. But I do need to play World fairly soon, because I have been neglecting that so that I can stream other Monster Hunter games, and it's not that it bothers me that I'm neglecting World, it's World, but I think it is time for me to record it again. I haven't actually recorded it for... must be 5 months at least by now. But anyway, I will be recording more Freedom Unite. Do expect some more 3 Ultimate as well. 3 Ultimate is a priority because of course I don't know when the servers are going to shut down, so it's good to record that whenever I can. Anyway, I thank you all for watching. This is me, Doomlink, once again, and I'll catch you when I'm next live streaming Monster Hunter. Catch you later.